Hello everyone, welcome to the first demonstration video exercise for the voice therapy technique called as accent method. Now the method is classified under the physiologic voice therapy technique, and the premise of this therapy technique is that you are going to synchronize the breathing of that patient with the phonation and finally the quality. So what you're trying to do is you're going to work on the breathing aspect, that's the abdominal breathing aspect. Then you are going to carry over those features to the phonation, and slowly and steadily you are going to work out the entire physiology. So that's the reason it's classified as a physiologic voice therapy approach. Before we get down to the demonstration, one thing that you need to understand is the pattern of breathing that is very essential for this therapy technique. So the pattern of breathing that we have emphasized is the diaphragmatic breathing or the abdominal breathing technique. Now this, in simple words, is called the deep breathing technique, wherein you are utilizing your entire lung capacity to the extent that your diaphragm is pushed downwards. As the moment the diaphragm is pushed downwards, the abdomen is something which comes outward. So the technique goes in the way when the person inhales deeply, what happens is the lung cavity, that's the chest cavity completely expands. Now because the diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle separating the chest cavity from the abdominal cavity, there is a pressure that comes from the top. Because that pressure is on the diaphragm, it tries to put that pressure on the abdominal cavity. And what you see is that the abdomen comes out on inhalation. Reverse happens when there is exhalation. So what will happen during exhalation? Your diaphragm has to relax. Because the diaphragm is relaxing, the abdominal cavity goes inside and the thoracic cavity or the chest cavity moves upward and ready for the next cycle. So first step is to identify what is the pattern of breathing that a particular patient is following. Identify it and try to modify it into the diaphragmatic breathing technique or the abdominal breathing technique. So the first step is as follows. Having identified the breathing pattern of the patient, and if you feel that you have to work on the breathing pattern and change it to diaphragmatic breathing, step number 1 will be identify the abdominal muscles and help the patient locate them easily. We being a speech language pathologist, for us it becomes very easier to identify, but for a normal person it's difficult unless you give them some way of identifying. So what will be that way? Ask the patient to hold the hand below the lungs, that's below the chest cavity, and ask the patient to cough. The area which has the maximum movement when a person coughs is the area where the diaphragmatic muscles or the abdominal muscles are located. So you tell the patient to hold it right there and you tell him to cough. And you will feel that these are the muscles that will contract extensively when you do these movements. So once identified the abdominal muscles, you are all set to teach that patient the diaphragmatic breathing or the abdominal breathing. So all you have to tell the patient is, when you are breathing in, your abdomen has to come out, and you are breathing out, the abdomen has to go in. It would be even better if you use it with a blowing skill. So what you have to do is, first step will be you help him identify the diaphragmatic muscles and then initiate it by the moment of exhalation. So you give it a push. Now because of the recoil capacity of the diaphragm, what happens is as soon as the blowing is over, the muscles will again relax and the body and the cavity will be ready for the next cycle. So what will happen is, you see that movement? The moment that the entire blowing cycle is over, the abdomen automatically starts to inhale and it comes outward. So it becomes very easy to identify if you initiate by an exhalation cycle and then get the whole pattern into synchronization. This is step number 1. Establish diaphragmatic breathing using different things. Either you can use blowing or you can even use phonation of the sound. It becomes very easy for them to do this. Some patients, even after these demonstrations, find it hard. So what you can do is, you can ask them to lie down in the supine position and then gauge the movement of the abdomen. Sometimes it's even necessary that if it's a small child or someone who is having really hard time to identify the muscles, you can put a toy or something on the abdomen and use various analogies that, you know, the frog is climbing up and now you are supposed to take the frog higher and higher, something like that. So there are different ways how you can establish diaphragmatic breathing. That's step number 1 of the method. Step number 2 is, okay, now in step number 2, you have to take this diaphragmatic breathing to production of voiceless sounds. So this is how you go about. ask the patient to sit in the position that you just did for diaphragmatic breathing, hands on the abdomen, and now while exhaling, he or she has to produce a voiceless sound. So this is how it is. Okay, having done this prolongation, now is the step where you introduce the accent. And by accent, we basically mean that the prolonged sound whichever the patient is producing, you will have to simply ask the patient to push the pressure, push the belly in and increase the intensity of that prolonged sound. So that happens with everyone, you and I. The moment we put pressure on this on the belly, what happens is there is this extra amount of intensity that's added to the product or to the phonation. So this is how it happens. You see, the moment you put the pressure on this belly, there is an accent that is added to the prolongation that was originally going at one particular volume. So there is this addition, that's why it's called the accent method. Having done this in 2 parts, now you have to motivate the client to take it to 3 parts. So now we try to break it into 2 accents, but 3 parts of the sound. So this is how you do it. This is how you do step number 3 of the method. Having established these accents in the voiceless sound, now you transfer them to the voiced sounds. So I'll take, for the ease of understanding, only one voice sound, that's the Z sound. So the same technique. First, prolong the Z sound, then gradually add accents to it. So that's step number 1. Then add one more accent and break it into 3 parts. This is how you take the voice from voiceless to voiced. And now we go to the final step, that is on the vowel sounds. So you are supposed to take some really easy vowels and gradually build it up for the vowels also. So this is how you go for a vowel. Oh. Oh. Moment you put pressure, you see that the amount of intensity increases. The same technique you can use for different vowels. Then you build it up and then you go it to the word level. Finally you go and you stabilize it at the conversation level, at phrases level, and then definitely the conversation. So it's a technique where you are definitely building on to the patient's capacity of using their own respiratory capacity and increasing their intensity of voice. So it's one of the method which is not so commonly used, but definitely it is shown in literature that it has far-fetched effects, and definitely we would like to learn more about these techniques. So we have put up a PDF on our website where you can definitely read the steps. You can have multiple examples of which phonemes to be used, which are the different vowels that can be used, the phrases that can be used. Of course, these resources were also available on the website. We have taken help from those also and created something for you all. One thing I would like to emphasize is that there are multiple steps also which are involved in between. Like, it depends from patient to patient how we want to gradually move from the level of the vowels to the words, to the phrases, and finally to the conversation. So it's a very tailor-made approach. Depending on how your patient is doing, you can definitely understand that this step requires less amount of practice and gradually move to the next step. So I hope this video was useful. This is one of the first demonstration videos, and we would love to hear your feedback because we really want to improvise on this, make it more user friendly, make it something that you can learn from it. Because even as a student, I would not know these techniques so well. So right now, in the process of making this video, I have also learned a lot about it, and we hope that you will also learn at least something from it. So do give your feedbacks because they really help us to improve a lot. And stay tuned because there are many more demonstration videos which are going to come up in the Voice Hub. Thank you.